Good evening, I'm Amin Carlos. Thanks for watching, and you join us in News at 10. In our first headline story in full, the movement control order, the MCO, has been extended for 2 more weeks until 18 February for all states in Malaysia except Sarawak. Well, according to Senior Minister for Security, Dato Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, the decision was made during the special meeting of the National Security Council, the MKN, held earlier today. The government has decided to extend it after monitoring reports by the Health Ministry showing that daily COVID-19 cases in all states remains high and infectivity rates are also high. He added that the extension of the MCO will also involve tightening of existing standard operating procedures, the SOPs.
Sambungan ini kita akan meneruskan SOP yang lebih ketat lagi. Sebagai contoh, kalau dulu kalau kita lihat di pasaraya misalnya, orang bebas masuk ke pasaraya dan tiada had jumlah di dalam pasaraya tersebut. Ini menyebabkan kadang-kadang berlaku perkumpulan yang agak besar di dalam pasaraya. Dan selepas ini kita balik kepada cara yang lama, iaitu untuk masuk ke pasaraya juga perlu dihadkan.
MOH confirmed that the daily cases in the country have shown an increasing trend, which also includes sporadic infections in communities involving Malaysians and foreigners alike. And as for Sarawak, the state will remain under the Recovery Movement Control Order, the RMCO, except for districts and areas already placed under Enhanced Movement Control Order, the EMCO. Well, meanwhile, the government will announce the standard operating procedures, or SOPs, for the Chinese New Year celebration in the near future. Well, Dato Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the guidelines were made as a result of discussions between the National Security Council, Health Ministry, as well as the National Unity Ministry.
Oleh kerana SOP PKP kita ni sampai 18 Februari ini, dan 18 Februari termasuk tahun baru Cina ada pada 12 maksudnya termasuk di dalam PKP. Maka saya percaya mereka boleh siapkan dalam waktu yang terdekat. Baru ni kita tengah tunggu, sebab mungkin berbeza SOP kalau PKP, kalau tiba-tiba jadi PKPB sebagai contoh, mungkin SOP-nya berbeza.
The Chinese New Year, which is celebrated by the Tionghoa community, will fall on 12 February. Well, now for the COVID-19 updates. The Health Ministry today reported 3,455 new cases, bringing the cumulative number of positive cases recorded in the country to 222,628. Well, according to a statement by its Director General, Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah, 5 of the cases today were import cases, while the remaining 3,450 were locally transmitted. Well, Selangor recorded the highest number of new cases with 1,145, followed by Johor at 708 cases and Kuala Lumpur at 619 cases. However, the number of recoveries today is higher than new cases at 3,661, bringing the total number of recoveries up to 173,990, equivalent to 78.2% recovery rate. Well, following this development, the number of active COVID-19 cases in Malaysia is currently 47,847, and 327 of them are being treated in intensive care units, the ICU, with 145 requiring respiratory aid. Meanwhile, MOH also reported a staggering number of 21 new deaths in the past 24 hours, and the COVID-19 death toll in the country is now 791. Malaysia's COVID-19 immunization plan using Pfizer vaccine is expected to proceed according to plan, with the first shipment of 1 million doses will be delivered in stages over the first quarter of this year. Well, Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Khairi Jamaluddin, said discussions have been held with the EU Ambassador to Malaysia, His Excellency Michalis Rokas, and the Ambassador of the United Kingdom, or rather the Kingdom of Belgium to Malaysia, His Excellency Pascal Hitz-Guihore, and for further clarification regarding the status of vaccine deliveries to the country. Well, in a statement, he said the Belgian ambassador has assured that the country's advance purchase agreement with Pfizer will be fulfilled after the company has applied for export authorization. But as such, he said the government has asked for the pharmaceutical corporation to request approval for immediate export from the government of Belgium. He hoped that the immunization plan would be implemented according to schedule with the assurances of both the EU and Belgian ambassadors. Well, he said the first batch of vaccine comprising 1 million doses will be used in the phase 1 of inoculation for the frontliners. Pharma Niaga is currently examining the proposal to supply 2 million doses of coronavac vaccine for the private sector and foreign workers in the country. Its managing director, Dr. Zulkarnain Mat Yusof, said a discussion is being held with the government pertaining to the issue, with the final decision would only be made after a study on its feasibility has been conducted.
Kerajaan telah meminta kita untuk melihat bagaimana untuk membuat pembekalan kepada pihak-pihak swasta, terutamanya GLCs, yang mana economic frontliners, we call it, for the GLCs, and also to the to the foreign aspect as well as foreign workers. So this is the area yang kita lihat dan kita tengah kumpulkan maklumat ini. Dan sekiranya apabila maklumat ini cukup dan juga analisa interpretasi kita akan buat dan kita akan berbincang dengan pihak kerajaan sekali lagi bagaimana untuk melaksanakan program pembekalan kepada pihak swasta, economic frontliners, also to the aspect and also to these foreign workers and foreign employees.
However, he said the group would be focusing on vaccinating the members of the public. A total of 12 million coronavac vaccine developed by China's Sinovac would be supplied to the Health Ministry for this purpose. Dr. Zulkarnain said the vaccine is currently under preview and review by the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Division, NPRA. He said Pharma Niaga hoped to provide the first batch of vaccine for the Malaysians by early April for free, should it obtain approval this month or in March. The Rubber Production Incentive, or IPG, for January 2021 has been activated in the Peninsula, Sabah and Sarawak, beginning 1st to 28th February. Well, according to the Malaysian Rubber Board, or MRB, the IPG is active with payments in the Peninsula at 5 cents per kilogram, 35 cents per kilogram in Sabah, and 25 cents per kilogram in Sarawak. In a release statement, the MRB said the activation was due to the average farm-level rubber price in January for cut lump or scrap rubber being at 2 ringgit 45 cents per kilogram in the Peninsula, 2 ringgit 15 cents per kilogram in Sabah, and 2 ringgit 25 cents per kilogram in Sarawak. It explained that since January 2019, the IPG would be activated if the average monthly price of standard Malaysian rubber 20 or SMR 20 free on board grade rubber is at 6 ringgit 10 cents per kilogram, or the farm gate price is 2 ringgit 50 cents per kilogram and below. The smallholders would be able to make their claims until the end of this month. The activation of the IPG provided by the federal government is meant to help rubber smallholders in the country, including those in Sabah and Sarawak, when the price of the commodity is low. Members of the public can now go through the complete list of 318 licensed meat importers with Malaysian Halal Certification, or SPHM, on the Halal portal or the Smart Halal application. Well, Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, said the Muslim community can now deal with SPHM holders without any doubts. Well, in a posting on his Facebook page, the minister said the authoritative agencies, including the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs and Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, have implemented the proper procedures for the management of the import meat cartel issue. On 1st December last year, the country was shocked by the discovery of an imported frozen meat cartel that placed fake halal logos on uncertified meat for sale in the local market. And following this development, Dr. Zulkifli, on 29 January said the halal status of a product or service in the market can be obtained easily by using the QR code scanner on the Smart Halal mobile application. Well, meanwhile, he said the roundtable discussion organized by the Malaysian Islamic Development Department, or JAKIM, with importers and distributors of meat and meat products on 11 January resulted in many beneficial decisions for Muslims in the country. Also in the same posting, he uploaded the flowchart of meat import process, which includes import permits and control of national entry points by 2 enforcement agencies. The Royal Malaysian Customs Department collected a total of 38.67 billion ringgit in revenue last year. Well, the total exceeds the initial projection of 36.3 billion ringgit, which demonstrates the department's excellent stature as one of the nation's topmost revenue collection agency. Well, among the contributors of the collection include revenue leakages amounting to an estimated 5.38 billion ringgit involving tax evasion from the seizure of various goods, as well as other revenues such as settlement of accounts receivable. The Customs Department also saw 2,104 cases related to contraband cigarettes worth 75 million ringgit, involving 662 million ringgit in taxes or duties. For cases involving liquor and beer, the RMCD recorded 738 cases with the seizure of an estimated 1.74 million litres involving duty or tax of 45 million ringgit. The department also seized 24,786 kilograms red sandalwood worth about 7.8 million ringgit last year, apart from 86 million ringgit worth of pangolin scales. The body of an individual believed to be a woman was found about 6 meters from a beach in Kampung Au Kecil, Pantai Melawi, Bachok, earlier this morning. Well, according to acting Bachok Police Chief Assistant Superintendent Muhammad Yusrizal Muhammad Ghazali, the body was found by nearby villagers who then submitted a report to authorities. The body was believed to be that of a woman based on its physical characteristics as well as the shirt and red jacket worn. The body was believed to have been in the water for about a week based on its physical state of semi-decay.
Anggaran dia punya umur adalah anggaran lebih kurang 30-an. Setakat ni hasil daripada pemeriksaan pihak forensik tidak menjumpai sebarang unsur-unsur yang menunjukkan ke arah unsur-unsur jenayah. So kita klasifikasikan kes ini sebagai mati mengejut dan siasatan masih lagi diteruskan untuk mengetahui lebih lanjut lagi keadaan ini dan akan dihantar kepada pihak forensik HRPZ.
Upon inspection, police could not find any identification documents on the body, and it was sent to Hospital Raja Perempuan Zainab II for post-mortem. Police advised any members of the public who may have information or have a relative gone missing to report to the nearest police station. Well, 2 individuals face 3 counts of fraud at the Ipoh Magistrates Court in Perak involving Bitcoin Action Node investments between May and July 2020. The accused, Redwan Ismail, age 37, and Adan Ibrahim, age 38, however, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read out before Magistrate Nur Azrin Liana Muhammad Darus. For the first count, both of the accused allegedly scammed Nur Raihan Shabila, age 24, into investing a total of 26,000 ringgit by promising 20% in returns for 7 consecutive months. For the second count, the same offence was allegedly done to victim Rosaida Yahya, age 49, with a total investment value amounting to 120,000 ringgit. Meanwhile, for the third count, both accused allegedly tricked Norma Shari, age 60, into investing 4,500 ringgit. Well, all the offences was believed to have been conducted between 26 July 2020 and 8 May 2020 at a hotel in Ipoh. Both suspects are charged according to Section 420 and Section 34 of the Penal Code. The case is managed by Deputy Public Prosecutor K. Darini, and the accused were represented by lawyers Aizul Rohan Anwar, Hazwa Mahira Azman and Nur Nadia Zaini. The court allowed both accused 2,500 ringgit bail for each offence with one guarantor and set 9th March for remention of the case. Well, Malaysian squash queen Dato' Nicole David has been crowned the World Games greatest athlete of all time with a huge win in a global online poll that ended last night. Well, being the only Asian candidate, the 8th-time squash world champion, who had been the front runner since day one, garnered 318,943 votes to secure the win with an over 200,000 vote majority. Well, according to the World Games official website, the 37-year-old Penangite, who had an unprecedented record 9-year reign as a world's #1, outclassed 23 other athletes representing their respective sports from all editions of the World Games' 40-year history in the poll. Commenting on her win, Nicole said she is grateful for the surprise, adding that she hopes it could elevate the future of squash. Her closest rival was Republic of Ireland's James Cahill, who had represented his country in tug-of-war in 9 World Games with 113,120 votes, followed by women powerlifting athlete Larissa Solovyova from Ukraine with 80,790 votes, and German Marcel Hessemeyer for lifesaving with 79,760 votes. The winners receive an Athlete of the Year trophy and a branded gift from the official sponsor. The greatest athlete of all time poll was held in conjunction with the World Games' 40th anniversary after the first edition was held in 1981 at California, United States. Well, the poll started on 8th January, but only the top 10 candidates continued the race after 20th January. In a related development, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin also extended his congratulations to Dato' Nicole for her glorious success. While sharing the pride and gratitude of Malaysians, he said this is a testament to the contributions, efforts and achievements of Dato' Nicole still being observed in the eyes of the squash sport throughout the world. And despite already having retired from competitive play for over 2 years since 2019. Well, through a posting on his official Facebook account, the Premier also expressed hope that the 37-year-old Pulau Pinang-born athlete will inspire Malaysians to follow suit in her footsteps and do their best to raise the name of the country in any field they embark on. At 10 in our top story, movement control order extended another 2 weeks. Well, join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Amin Carlos. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.
Sarawak yang kekal di bawah PKPB.